What's going on, guys? I'm back today on the channel, and I'm bringing you a Fields of the Warriors deck with Joey Wheeler. Found it to be a very good deck. It was definitely served me well. Probably won about, I don't know, probably close to 13 games out of 15, honestly. It was very good. It carried me all the way through until Plat, even 2 or 3 games into Platinum, and then I stopped using it because I was tired. So I went to bed. But no, seriously, this deck's really good. The first card I'm going to show you is Shiran the Mage. Once per turn, you can discard 1 spell card, then target 1 spell trap card your opponent controls to destroy that target. These 2 cards are the ones that you're going to use to discard. I don't know why. I just decided on these 2. You could probably actually use real spells that will help you, but, you know, I just felt like running these. Or you could just completely ignore his effect and use him for the sole purpose of him being a 2,000 attack monster when Fields of the Warriors on the field, because it's always a field spell. And you could use another trap card or a spell card to your liking. So then Blade Knight, I only run one of these because the effect never really triggered enough for me. While you have 1 or less cards in your hand, this card gains 400 attack. If you control no other monsters, the effects of flip monsters destroyed by battle with this card are negated. Controlling 1 or less cards in my hand actually happened more for me than controlling no other monsters, so I'd only recommend running one of those, unless you're running a handless deck and you're not going to be having a lot of monsters, and you could actually run more than one, but that's not what we're doing today. So I run 1 Boxer, mainly because I only have 1. If I had 2, I would definitely run 2. This card destroys an opponent's monster by battle. Yeah, he destroys the battle. And sends it to the graveyard. You can place 1 counter on this card. You can send this card with 2 or more counters to the graveyard. Special summon 1 earth monster from your deck. So that would be good if you got Wall of Disruption, and this card was at 0 attack or like 400 attack. Obviously, it's not going to be doing a lot, so you could remove some counters, send them to the graveyard, and get a brand new monster on the field that will be able to protect you a little bit more. And if this card is also destroyed by battle, you can also remove 1 counter to make it not destroyed by battle. So that's also pretty good. I run 2 Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke's. He is 2,000 attack when you have Fields the Warrior on the field. And when he attacks a face-up defense position monster, he automatically destroys it at the start of the damage step. So that's definitely helpful as well. Okay, move out of there, little record button. So, Leotar is the next guy. He is a 1,700 attack monster with Fields the Warrior. However, when he battles a non-normal monster, he gains 500 attack in the damage step, so he will be a 2,200 attack monster basically every time he battles someone. I would actually run 3 of those if I had to change up this deck. Now that I'm looking at it, I would run 3 of him and 3 of him. Because this card's effect is if a Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast type monster you control attacks a defense position monster, it inflicts piercing damage to your opponent. So this guy will be able to inflict piercing. This guy will be able to inflict piercing. Just kidding, no he won't. This guy will be able to inflict piercing. This guy will be able to. This guy will be able to. And that guy will be able to. So mainly, let's see, 2, quick math, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 100, and that's about, I can't even math today. That is, 6 monsters. 6 monsters out of about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So 6 out of 11 of your monsters, so more than half will be able to inflict piercing damage when they are on the field, and that's pretty good. Axe Raider, I run him for the sole purpose of him being a 1,900 attack monster, and Force Raider, because his name sounds cool, and they go together because they're both Raiders. Just kidding. Force Raider, because he's a 2,100 attack monster. If you have 2 or 3 of these, I would run 2 or 3 of them, take him out, run 2 of him. If you have 3 of him, I would take out Blade Knight. That's exactly what I do. I run 2 Super Rush Headlongs. You can basically save your monsters. You target 1 monster, the attacking monster that your opponent's attacking with, and declare their attribute, and they die immediately, unless they have their own Super Rush Headlong. Enemy controller, you can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, and you can change that target's battle position. That pairs well with Ninja Grandmaster, and 2 Wall of Disruptions, and 2 Beast Risings, Once per turn, you can remove from play one face-up beast type or beast warrior type monster you control to select one other face-up beast type or beast warrior monster you control. The selected monster gains the original attack of the monster that was removed from play. So, one of your monsters gets Wall of Disruption, and you can summon another monster that obviously has not been Wall of Disruption. You can essentially use that card, get the one that's been Wall of Disruption off the field, and your new monster still gains the attack because it's original attack. So we're going to go in. We're going to start off with my favorite duel of the 2 or 3 I'm going to show you. And this one took some thought on my part because my opponent was trying to stall me out because I was close to decking out, and they were just kind of being stally, and it was kind of irritating me, honestly, because definitely need to start playing around Wall of Disruption. And I told myself before I attacked, I was like, you know what? I bet they have Wall of Disruption because they're not changing the defense position. Well, you know what? I should have listened to my instinct because they did. So I set my own Wall of Disruption, and I summon a Ninja Grandmaster. So there's the 2000 attack monster on the field. She sets 3 cards. She throws down a face down, as Jade and Yuki would say. And she summons a Fire King Avatar Yaksha. I don't know why, I can't remember his name. And so she has a 2000 attack monster on the field as well. I have another 2000 attack monster on the field, and I used this card before I realized that this only applies to beast types, not beast warrior types. So I'm a complete dingus for locking up my back row. And so I decided to attack her with my Chiron the Mage, and I do 100 life points of damage to her 1900 attack monster. She still has not tried to crash into me yet. She probably thinks that I have some kind of traps, which I do. So I decide to flip her Yaksha to defense position because I want to get him off the field, and also so I can set my Super Rush because I valued Super Rush more than I did an enemy controller at that point, in case I did get Wall of Disruption. She has a Windstorm, possibly the worst card she could have had to be able to stop my attacks. And she ends up tribute summoning for a Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Coyote. I've never seen this card before in my life, so I didn't really know what to do. However, this card is 2200, and this card confused me because it said, you can target one beast. Also, it is unaffected by the effects of cards other than this card. So I thought that meant like Super Rushes and enemy controllers and Wall of Disruptions. Well, I found out that that's not what it meant, and that's why I Super Rushed into the King Yaksha right there. However, I shouldn't have. I should have just Super Rushed into him. So that was a little misplay on my part, and I have no idea why she destroyed him. I think so she could use her Wall of Disruption. That's what I'm guessing, now that I see it, because she knew that it would take me down to 0 attack for all my monsters. So now I'm kind of hosed, because I don't have a Super Rush set, and I only have a Wall of Disruption. Wall of Disruption's not going to kill anything that she attacks me with, and because I'm at 0. However, she does not attack me. I feel like she's just trying to stall me out, or she knows that she knows I have a Wall of Disruption set. So I end up Super Rushing into that big monster. I was like, you know what? I got to try it, because I'm going to lose this duel. Once she figures out that I only have a Wall of Disruption, she'll only go down 800. So it actually ended up working. And I think that it was only the targeted beast-type monster. And I didn't really read that card a lot, and I'm not familiar with it, so made myself look like a fool. And then I activated Beast Rising because I thought that I would be able to use it. However, it does not work if all your monsters are 0 attack, apparently. So I used Chiron the Mage's effect to get rid of my Poison Fangs, to pop her field spell, to get rid of her Phoenix, and that in turn will get rid of all of my back row, so she'll finally attack me. Because this person was playing very conservative, I wanted all of her back row popped as well, because I knew that if I drew a monster right here, I would have a shot at winning the game. Which I did, thankfully. I drew a Leotard, and I set a Wall of Disruption, and I summoned my Leotard. The only unfortunate thing about that is that I lost my field spell. However, I'm fine with that. She sets a card. She says, I hope you can help me, and she tribute summons a monster. So she gets 2 very strong monsters on the field. I decide it's time to Beast Rising. I get rid of him. the Chiron, and my Leotard is now 3,300 attack. So I summon my Ninja Grandmaster. I get enemy controlled by her. My Leotard goes in a defense position. At this point, I'm just very happy that I have a Wall of Disruption. So I'm forced to use my Wall of Disruption right here. And both her monsters go to 700 and 800 attack. That will do 900 life points of damage. I'm hoping that face down is not another Wall of Disruption. That would be very unfortunate for me. It is not. I do not know what it was. That does 3,100 attack. And that's game. So that was my favorite one out of all the duels that I recorded. And now we will jump into the next one, which I'm going to show you is a Joey versus a Seto Kaiba. And this one happened when I was kind of low in the gold ranks, so his deck is not the greatest. However, I thought it was still a very good replay to show the power of this deck, how it can run over opponents fairly quickly. The Fields of the Warrior spell helps out a lot, in my opinion, and this has become one of my more favorite decks. I always liked to run Weevil and Odeon decks, and then now I'm starting to like to run this deck, and I do like running Blue Eyes decks as well. But I would say it's basically like Weevil, Odeon, and then Fields of the Warrior right now. This deck is a little outdated. I'm sure there are better cards out now that I could have in this deck that make this deck more powerful. However, I'm not aware of them, so I'm just going to rock with this. I get a Boxer. I summon my Boxer on the field, and I'm going to make him box. Just kidding, no I'm not. I'm going to end his turn, because he has a 2,000 attack monster on the field as well. And I have a Beast Rising set and a Super Rush set. He pins my Beast Rising with Electro, and he decides to enemy controller left, right, AB me, and switch me into a defense position. So he's going to attack into me. I'm going to use my Super Rush Headlong, because I don't want my Boxer to die. So his Fire King avatar Yaksha gets destroyed. However, he's able to pop his Wild Tornado, and then that in turn kills my Boxer. So that kind of backfired on me. However, he only has one more monster than he did before. So if I wouldn't have Super Rushed, he would have two monsters right now. And I end up summoning my Enraged Battle Axe and setting my Super Rush, which was a mistake. Should have left my Super Rush in my hand, because if you didn't know, Super Rush, the turn player takes priority when Super Rush is activated. So I would have actually ended up killing him, even though his Super Rush was activated first. So he ends up pinning my Super Rush now, but he does not have any back row, thankfully. So he sets a card on the field. I set my enemy controller, and I'm getting real tired of this Electro, so I destroy the Sergeant Electro, and I'm down to 800 life points. It's getting a little hairy here. I'm wondering if I'm going to pull this out. However, thankfully, this enemy controller comes in clutch, and he tributes his Worm for my Battle Axe, thinking he's won the game. However, I flip over my face down card, and it's enemy controller, so I left-right AB him right back, and he quits. So he scooped, and he needed some ice cream. That's why he scooped, because he scooped ice cream. Okay, so that is it from me for the day. I will see you guys next video. If you have any deck suggestions that I should build, I will try and build them as long as I have the cards. As you can see right here, I'm in plat. All those wins except for those two. And that was all with the Warrior deck. So, yeah, it's a pretty good deck. All right, I'll see you guys later. Have a good weekend. See ya.